Hello, this is Michael Garut. I'm going to make you a little video showing you my workflow for how I edit captions in my science education videos. So I've picked this particular one, 54A, Chemactivity 54A, which I have not previously edited. I'm in my YouTube editor. Notice there's no description and kind of a weak title. In the current version of YouTube, when I click on languages, what I see will depend on how long ago I made this video and whether I've previously set the language for it. This one I didn't, so it comes up with a set language button, and I will pick US English. Once I've done that, and you may not even see that, you'll get this screen and you have the Edit Subtitles button. YouTube has most likely already done voice-to-text recognition, but if you look at this particular transcript, you'll see it did not do very well with punctuation. It didn't spell my name right. It didn't spell words right. It has uhs and ums in it. So I'm not really happy about it. Like acyl-CoA or acetyl-CoA, fatty acyl-CoA. Like, that's not even close. So let's see what I'm going to do about that. I've got the entire transcript here. YouTube has, if I click this Edit Timings button, synced the text to the video. So let's just see how that looks right now. So discard changes, and let's just see what that looks like.
Hello and welcome to the screencast for Chemactivity.
So in order to see what that looks like, I have to actually publish them. So let's publish them. It says processing may take a few hours, but I don't think it will since it has already done the work. It's an old video. So now when I go to the video, the closed caption button appears. Previously it was grayed out. When I start to play it,
Hello and welcome to the screencast
there it is.
for Chemactivity 54A. Remember that glyceraldehyde, well, the fat molecule gets into the matrix.
It capitalized the Matrix as the movie,
And tell
right?
me which of the 4 steps are oxidation reductions. So if you want to, you can just call them steps 1,
Just Callum steps.
2,
Yeah, right?
3.
So clearly that needs some editing. So now I'm going to go back to my editor, edit the subtitles, edit its text, and download the subtitles. It downloads them as a transcript.txt file. And if I open that in my editor, I can see all of those transcripts. This is a pretty long transcript. I'm going to find out if Gemini will handle the entire thing. Sometimes when they are too long, it gets bogged down about halfway through and starts making mistakes. If that's the case, then I will break it into chunks and do what I'm doing now in smaller chunks. But let me close this, and I'll show you my workflow. I have saved what Google Gemini calls a gem, which is basically a set of instructions that you would put in a prompt, and it will remember that from chat to chat. I've called that transcript editor with no timestamps. I used to try to do it with timestamps, and it turns out YouTube is better at making the timestamps than AI. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. Here are the instructions I've given it, and I will put those instructions in the description of this video. You can see what those are. I've given it the correct spelling of my name. I've told it not to use tech markup because that's not supported in captions. I've told it to convert scientific notation and chemical formulas into Unicode characters, etc. So now I'm going to add that transcript file that I just downloaded in my download folder. And I'm going to turn it off of the fast processing to the thinking because I want it to not make errors. And on the safe side, I'm going to give it a brief prompt. Please format this transcript using your instructions. And then I wait. If you would like, you can watch what it's doing. It's now output that. It seems to be finished. And it's exported it as what it calls a code snippet, which is plain text, and you have a little copy button here. So I'm just going to copy that. Now I'm going to go back to my video where I was editing, and I'm going to delete all of the captions that were already there and paste in the new ones. I can make a few edits if I want to. I always say cheers at the end of my videos, and I like an exclamation point there, so I'm going to change that. This looks pretty nice. If I go ahead and click on Edit Timings, you will see that YouTube has now synced its edited text to the audio of the YouTube video. So it includes the right sorts of time prompts. It has done subscripts correctly, FADH2 with a subscript. Acetyl-CoA is now properly rendered. Beta oxidation has a beta character. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and assume this is good and click Publish. They are published. Now I'm going to go back to the video and I'll refresh the page. And let's go back. Oh, and look at that. It's already updated. Then
Carbohydrate metabolism is a generic term that means any carbonyl with any alkyl group attached to it. So the acetyl group is an acyl group.
And that's it. It's done. So let's say you want to add a description for this video. I have saved a prompt that I use for that. Generate a video description and chapters for the YouTube video transcript with timestamps, and format it so that I can paste into the video description in YouTube Studio, and then some other stuff. Alright, so now I need the time-stamped transcript. So I'm going to go back to my video, back to languages, go back to edit the subtitles, and now, since I'm viewing it with the timestamps, I'm going to download them. This time it downloads it as an SBV file. If I open that, you'll see it's a text file that has timestamps. Alright, so that is done. I'll go back and to my prompt. I'm going to copy the prompt. I'm telling it not to use citations because I don't want extra stuff. Copy that prompt. Go back to Gemini. Start a new chat. Paste in my prompt. And add the SBV file that I just created. I wonder if fast will be good enough. Let's see. I think it's fine. Copy. Go back to my video. Exit out of this. Go back to details. Paste this in the description. And since it has included timestamps at the beginning, it now automatically creates chapters for your video that will show up when anyone is watching it. So it describes the screencast, it describes what's going on in there, and it has a list of chapters. I'm going to click Save. I'm going to go back to my video. You won't see that description, but now when I refresh, Now you do see the description, and you can tell that the video has been segmented into chapters. Not only that, but the timestamps are clickable. So if you want to go straight to Model 2, you can click there.
So now we're ready to go with Model 2.
It'll go straight to Model 2.
Which talks about beta oxidation.
So this is my mini tutorial on how to add transcripts, edit the transcripts, and add a video description along with chapters to your educational videos. Cheers!